You might have heard that buying stocks is a good way to make money over time. That's definitely the case. But really, do you understand how the stock market works? What's the difference between a stock market, a stock exchange, and a stock index? What do you know about stocks? If you didn't say yes to any of these, you're not the only one. Here's an overview of what stock markets, stock exchanges, and stock indexes are and how they work. Number 1. Taking stock on a summer Friday. How was your week? Or rate hike from the Fed? We worry that we might be in a recession because the US GDP isn't doing very well. Earnings reports from Apple, McDonald's, Microsoft, and other big companies were mostly good enough. Walmart and Best Buy have put out warnings. One big airline merger didn't work out, but another one did. The phone call between the presidents of the United States and China was very important. Even less happened in the US housing market. And the Choco Taco met its end. Maybe. Despite all of that, the three major indexes were all up so far this week, as of Friday morning, and futures showed that they would open even higher. Also, ExxonMobil, Chevron, and Procter & Gamble all reported earnings before the bell on Friday. Number 2. Amazon. Actually, consumers are doing okay. Well, Amazon's consumers anyway. Shares of the e-commerce giant fell earlier this week, when Walmart cut its profit outlook, as historic levels of inflation weigh on consumers. But Amazon executives said Thursday, when the company posted quarterly earnings, that inflation wasn't hitting its customers as hard as other retailers. That's because Amazon and Walmart are appealing to different customers. The core consumer at Amazon is more well-off than the consumer at Walmart, and it seems to be enabling it to outperform Walmart, said Tom Forte, an analyst at D.A. Davidson. Amazon shares were up big in pre-market trading. Number 3. The iPhone comes through. In pre-market trading, Apple shares went up after the huge gadget maker beat Wall Street's expectations for quarterly earnings and sales. The Cupertino kids can thank the iPhone, which is their pride and joy. Even though the iPhone 13 is in the second half of its product cycle and a new model is coming soon, it is still selling well. CEO Tim Cook said, "We had a record number of people switch, and customers who were new to iPhone grew by more than 10%. Even though Cook said the company expects the current quarter's revenue growth to be strong, he did mention pockets of softness. The growth of Apple's services has slowed down, which could be a cause for concern. Number 4. JetBlue's next destination. JetBlue finally got the deal done, but it took months, a lot of back-and-forth sniping, more than one offer, and a few delayed shareholder votes. The airline talked Spirit into giving up its plan to merge with another low-cost airline, Frontier, and agreeing to be bought by JetBlue in a $3.8 billion deal. Now comes the hard part for JetBlue and Spirit: getting the Biden administration, which is against mergers, to agree to the deal. Last year, the Justice Department sued to stop JetBlue and American Airlines from working together in the Northeast. In September, that case will go to court. Still, JetBlue is optimistic and thinks that regulators will approve the Spirit deal by the end of next year or the beginning of 2024, and that the merger will be completed in the first half of 2024. Number 5. Biden and Xi talk at a tense moment. Thursday, U.S. Vice President Joe Biden and Chinese President Xi Jinping talked for more than 2 hours and started making plans for their first meeting in person since Biden took office. The two leaders of the world's two most powerful countries had a long conversation after the House sent Biden a bill to make the U.S. more competitive with China, and while the world's attention was on Taiwan, a self-governed island that China claims as its own. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi, a Democrat from California, has said she might go to Taiwan during a trip through Asia that starts this week. If she does, this could make things worse between the United States and China. The New York Times reported earlier this week that U.S. officials are getting more worried that China might move against Taiwan in the next 18 months. Experts say that despite all of this, it looks like Biden and Xi had a productive call.